Hey guys, welcome back to Semper Mechanic. My name's Thomas. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how the lawsuit that was brought against me got dropped today. But somehow, I still ended up losing. So if you want to use my life as your entertainment, stay tuned, because we're starting right now. Alright guys, welcome back. This is really like the fourth video on this series. So a lot of you guys know what's going on, but a lot doesn't. So we got to start from the beginning because this is the last video because we're done with this. As you can see, it's very cold outside. You can see my breath. I'm freezing. But I wanted to make this video so bad because I am so disappointed. It was almost a lose-lose situation no matter what happened. Let's set the scene for you from the very beginning. My daughter goes to a Christian school, private school. Her little friend goes to the same school. Well, I know her dad through the school. I am the mechanic for everybody in there. Everybody knows I'm the mobile mechanic, you know, doing a good parent thing, right? So we're at a PTO, a parent-teacher conference. He comes up to me, tells me he's got a 2008 Lincoln MKZ V6. It's got the 3.5 liter, and the vehicle won't start. Asked if I'd look at it. I was like, sure, brother. Told him is the mount. It's usually 60 or 70 to do a diagnosis. Here I am like, oh, just pay me $30 and I'll do it. Now let's stop right there. Don't be dropping your prices for friends, family, for anything. You should always treat this as a business, nothing personal. Because when you treat it personally, everything gets messed up. You will lose friendships. You will lose family members. They'll be mad at you the rest of your life. They'll see you at Thanksgiving and be giving you a mean mug, or because you fixed their starter 2 months ago and it broke again. Trust me on this one. So I said, sure, I'll do it. We set up a date. I go out to his house, make contact with him. Everything's very nice. And he's like in his 50s. He's a doctor. He works at the Ohio State Clinic up here. So he has a pretty nice house. He has a couple nice cars. You know, he's doing pretty well for himself. So I didn't think money would be an issue. That'll come up later. So I do the diagnosis. And after maybe 20 minutes, it's pretty obvious what it is. He needs a timing chain replacement. So I go knock on his door, tell him to come out, and I explain it to him. I'm like, sir, I got some bad news for you. And it's best not to sugarcoat it. Tell them exactly what they need to know and get to the point. Don't be sugarcoating it. Don't be lying saying, I think this will do this, or it's not that bad. You know, you be truthful. So he comes out. I said, got some bad news for you. You need a timing chain replacement. It'll run you about $500 labor. I get the parts for maybe 150 bucks. So $650 straight up, man, we can get you done. And he was like, 650 bucks for a timing chain? You know, and he had that attitude with it. I was taken aback right away. I should have turned around and walked away right then. But no, being a soft ass like I am, I was like, well, sir, it ain't just the timing chain. We got crankshaft sprockets, we got camshaft sprockets, we got guide rails, tensioners. I mean, this is a whole kit and caboodle with this, you know? There's 10 different parts we got to change. He goes, well, I don't want to pay that amount, and I want you to only do the timing chain. I was like, sir, we can't just do the timing chain. It won't work. You have to replace all this stuff for it to work properly. And he's like, I don't have the money. Can you just do it? And I should have said no. Man, I should have said no. I should have just walked away. But I was like, yeah, man, I'll take the money. I'll do just the timing chain, whatever, bro. So I only charged him $350 to put the timing chain on. I did have him sign at the end when I wrote him a receipt. I had him sign a waiver saying, hey, there's no warranty on this. This is as is. Because you refused to do the job correctly, pretty much. Like you wouldn't get all the parts. Because I didn't want nothing to do with this. Like I wouldn't have done this on my vehicle. But he insisted. I'm just going to do what the customer says on this one. Like I said, I shouldn't have. But it's hard to turn down $350 at any time. Doesn't matter what you're doing. 350 bucks is 350 bucks, right? But that $350 ended up costing me a lot more. I'm negative about $2,000 from that. So that was a very bad investment on my part. So I was like, okay, sir, whatever. I go and do the timing chain. I get it done. Everything went fine on that. Get the money from him. He paid the $350. He was happy about that. He was happy with everything. I write him the receipt, have him sign that no warranty paper, and I'm gone. So I don't hear nothing from him for a couple months. Well, they had this little fair at the school where the kids was like throwing bean bags, and they had all kinds of little things. They had people like painting pictures of the kids, you know, just a fun little thing. So me and my wife's up there with our child. We're just walking around, eating a funnel cake, you know, enjoying life. And I see the guy. I'm like, hey, Dr. Shabazz. He doesn't yell back, man. He just looks at me like I stole his last dollar. He looked like right through me. And I was like, man, Dr. Shabazz, he on that bullshit. I told my wife, I said, you see that? And she's like, no, I don't think you're overthinking it. I don't think it was like that. And I was like, something's wrong. You best believe it was, because a week later, I got the lawsuit in the mail and opened it up. And I was like, what is this? And I'm like, Dr. Shabazz, that motherfucker, boy. There's the lawsuit, and it's for like $3,500. And I'm reading it. And guess what happened? Exactly what we told him. He's driving down the road. The timing chain breaks because he didn't get the tensioner and the guide rails and everything that he needed, where it's an interference engine. What that means is when that timing chain broke, his pistons and valves collided. Well, guess what you need now? You need a new engine now. So that's why he came up with the $3,500. But I was like, hey, I had you sign that waiver, homeboy. This isn't on me. So I'm looking at the paper, and I realized, holy shit, the court date was last week. I'm like, there's no way they're going to believe me. And it's Saturday when I got the paper, so I couldn't do anything till Monday. And I was tripping. And I was like, dude, they're not going to believe me. Like, here it is a week later. But here in Ohio, you ain't got to sign for the paper. They just send it certified mail and gets dropped off. But there's no signature on receipt. There's nothing like that. So when I call them Monday and I'm like telling them what's going on, the woman's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, right. Yep. Well, no matter what, it's your responsibility. I'm like, how the hell is it your responsibility to find out at a court date when you didn't even know you was in trouble? Like, it's crazy. I said, can we get a continuance or what do we do? She goes, no, the judge has already ruled. Did a default judgment because you didn't show up. And I was like, oh my God, like, I don't have $3,500 to give him. So I came home, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what do I do? Like, how do I show that I didn't get this in time? And there's nothing I could do by myself. So guess what? I end up having to hire an attorney. So there's $1,500 out of my pocket to get this attorney. This attorney was good because he did file a motion to set aside the judgment, and that's exactly what happened. He was able to show that I didn't get that in time. So we got the new court date. That new court date was today. 4 hours ago. So I go in there, I'm all happy. I'm like, this is going to be done, over with. I have all my paperwork. This is the first time I get to be in front of the judge. So I'm pretty excited, right? Me and my lawyer walk in there. I mean, I walk like I'm The Rock or Vin Diesel or somebody. Like, I think it's a wrap. So the judge starts talking. This doctor hired 2 lawyers. He has 2 lawyers over there. And I'm thinking, man, this is more serious than I thought. Like, is this guy got something up his sleeve? Because he's a shiesty motherfucker, you know? Well, we show him the paperwork. I'm like, hey, I got the warranty right here. I explained everything to the judge. Everything I just told you is what I told the judge today. And I had a videotape of the job. I didn't record all of it, but I recorded some of the work. So at the end, like I expected, the judge dismissed the lawsuit. So I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. But so I asked my lawyer, I'm like, well, how do I get him to pay for the lawyer fees and stuff now? In this case, I cannot. There is something called the American rule. American rule is a rule in the U.S. justice system that says 2 opposing sides in a legal matter must pay their own attorney fees, regardless of who wins the case. The rationale of the rule is that the plaintiff should not be deterred from bringing a case to court for fear of prohibitive cost. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rule because you always hear about the losing party having to pay for the defendant. I guess that's only in certain circumstances, and mine did not rate that. I got the case dismissed, and I'm happy with that, but I am out, let's see here, a total of, where is it? $2,263 I am out of pocket, all because this guy didn't want to replace a couple $100 parts. And my soft ass goes and does it for him, trying to be the good school dad, trying to help him out, and his fucking ass comes back and sues me. And now I'm out all this money. Like, it's complete bullshit. I'm like, what do you mean I can't get my money back? And they made this rule so people can actually sue each other and not be worried. You know, if you actually do have a case, you don't want to lose and have to pay the other guy's stuff, even if, you know, you're in the right, but the judge happened to rule against you. So you're not scared not to sue, you know, so it makes the even playing field. Yeah, I'm out $2,300 because of this. Like, how in the hell is that possible? Because he acted in good faith? No, he didn't. He didn't act in good faith. He went the cheap route. I warned him about it, had him sign the paper, and then when the situation actually happens that I told you could happen, now you're like, oh, wait a minute. This ain't how it's supposed to happen. You should have manned up and was like, damn, I should have just did it the right way. Now I have to get a new engine or go get you a new car. And you're a doctor living in $1 million home suing a mobile mechanic for $3,500 because why? Just man up. He should have just manned up and went and did it himself. Went and bought another car, got another engine because it was his fault. Obviously, I shouldn't have done the job. Hindsight's 2020. So now I'm out all this money. Like, it makes me not even want to do the mobile mechanic business anymore. All this stress. I don't handle stress well, guys. I just don't. People that know me know I was injured at war. I was injured in combat. My job was to find bombs and save people's lives. And that's a lot of stress. And I was there a few times. Now that I'm retired from the Marine Corps and I'm back in the States, I can't handle stress anymore. I just can't. It's like I was overloaded for so long that my mind broke. So normal stressors damn near kill me, man. Like, it's hard on me. You best believe this all stressed me out. Like, making my PTSD worse. And that might sound crazy to some of you, but it does. I started being a mechanic that actually helped me with PTSD. It helped me deal with the symptoms because it got my mind busy. I was learning something. I wasn't thinking about survivor's guilt. I wasn't thinking about all my friends that, or when they got back in the States, I don't want to be thinking about that stuff. So I was thinking about, working on the car. And it helped me a lot. More than any therapist or anything. Working on vehicles helped me more than any medicine, any of that shit. When things like this happen, it ruins it for me. Like, that was my escape, And I wanted to be able to make some money at it. It's really hard to deal with. And I'm not even going to cut this part out because it just shows that normal stressors and people with PTSD and I think we'll just end it right here, guys. Simplify till next time.